Welcome back to another Escape from Tarkov gun build video. Today, I'm going to be showing off some builds for the 5.56 rifles as a counterpart to my mid-game AK builds to help you get from level 20 to 40 in patch 12.9. The builds I have featured today are meant to be a NATO counterpart to my previous video on the AK mid-game builds. I have a few builds, one for the M4, HK416, ADAR, and MDR. My intent here is to give you some options on guns to run. The HK build is going to be the most expensive, so keep that in mind, and let's get into the M4 build first. Starting off this build, we need a stock M4, which you can get from Peacekeeper. The next parts we need also come from Peacekeeper, going at the Chris Defiant stock, the Daniel Defense RAS 2 9.5 handguard. Next, you're going to grab the Thunderbeast 223 CB muzzle brake, the Mark 12 low profile gas block, RVG foregrip, and an X400 flashlight. The final parts from Peacekeeper are the Hogue Black pistol grip, the cross-slot mount for Delta Point scopes, and the Delta Point reflex sight. Moving on to mechanic, grab the Magpul front and rear sights. I chose the black ones, the Raptor charge handle, and the last parts you need are only found in Raid, so it comes from Fleet, and it's roughly the 40k at the time of this video, which is the Thunderbeast suppressor itself. The stats of the build come out to 55 ergonomics and 52 vertical recoil, making it a very nice build. I also really like how the build turned out looking, and personally, aside from making these videos, I really enjoy running good looking guns, so it's nice to have a gun that performs well and looks good while doing it. Our next build is for the HK416, and it's pretty similar in terms of components to the M4. Start off by grabbing a stock HK from Peacekeeper, then an RVG foregrip, a Hogue Black pistol grip, a Delta Point cross mount, a Delta Point reflex sight, and an X400 flashlight. Lastly, from Peacekeeper, grab the Thunderbeast 223 CB muzzle brake, and then head over to Skier and grab the black MOE stock and MOE butt pad. Finally, go to Mechanic and grab a Raptor charging handle, a set of Magpul black front and rear sights, and the last piece we need is again the Thunderbeast suppressor, which as mentioned in the M4 build is about 40k at the time of this video from Flea. The stats up for the HK are 57 ergonomics and 57 vertical recoil, making it 5 more recoil than the M4, but 2 more ergonomics. The build will be a bit more expensive than M4, just due to the fact that the HK has higher base cost stock from Peacekeeper. The third build today is for the ADAR, and for this build I went unsuppressed, but you can easily switch the muzzle devices if you'd rather go suppressed. Starting off, you'll want to go to Fleet and buy a rechargeable battery. Currently, these goes for about 10 to 15k, and then barter for the ADAR from Skier with this. This saves you about 25k if you can get it for 10k, or 20k if you can get it for 15k, as the base ADAR is currently 35k from Skier. Next, buy the Magpul SL Black M-Lock handguard and the PWS muzzle brake from Skier. Head to Mechanic and purchase a set of black Magpul sights, the front and rear ones, and then a 4.1 inch M-Lock guide. Lastly, grab a Raptor charging handle and a Windham railed gas block. Head over to Peacekeeper for the last parts and buy an RVG foregrip, a Chris Defiance gray stock, an aim-point mount for Comp M4 sights, an aim-point Comp M4 reflex sight, and finally, a Hogue Black pistol grip. Overall, this brings the build to 71 ergonomics and 69 vertical recoil, making a great tap firing gun and giving a significant ergo boost over the HK and M4. Keep in mind, adding a suppressor will bring the ergo down quite a bit, but if you use the same suppressor, the Thunderbeast, and the same muzzle brake as the previous two builds for the M4 and the HK, it will have significantly less recoil as well. Moving on to the last build today, we have a quick but effective MDR build. First, head to Peacekeeper and grab a stock MDR. Next, you're going to buy an RVG foregrip, a Comp M4 aim-point mount, and the Comp M4 reflex sight. Next, head to Skier and grab the PWS 5.56 muzzle brake, and the last parts you need are for Mechanic, and these are going to be the 4.1 inch M-Lock guides so you can put your foregrip on the gun, and the set of Magpul front and rear sights. Overall, this build comes to 82 ergonomics and 66 vertical recoil, making it the highest ergo of all the builds featured today. Of the full auto guns, it does have the highest recoil, but it compensates for that by having the highest ergonomics. And for those that are curious, if you put the Thunder Beast muzzle brake and suppressor on this gun, you get 63 ergonomics and 58 vertical recoil, so it's more ergonomics than the previous builds, but a bit more recoil still than the HK and the M4. My goal here was to provide you with several 5.56 rifles to get you through mid-game as a counter to the AK video. I have plans to make a 7.62x51 video as well. I just didn't want to fit that in here because it didn't really make sense to, but expect that in the near future. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe and like the video as it helps my channel out greatly, and if you want to follow me elsewhere, check the links down below and join my Discord. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.